Some of the most powerful stories aren't about the loud bangs, but about those quiet, final moments. Today, we're going to break down a scene that just perfectly captures the anatomy of an ending, not with a big explosion, but with a single, held breath. So let's get right into it. Right from the very first line, the atmosphere's everything. A held breath that never quite lands. Just think about that for a second. That one single image tells you everything you need to know about the unspoken tension in this room. It's not even about what's being said yet. It's all about the crushing weight of what's about to be said. The whole scene is basically built on this suffocating stillness.
And then we get our first line of dialogue. Jarru's line, it's not an accusation, right? It's really just a confirmation. He's been waiting. And that tells us that this conversation we're about to see isn't some kind of surprise attack. No, this is the final, inevitable conclusion to something that's been slowly ending for a very long time.
And what's so wild here is that the conflict is defined by the lack of conflict. There's no fight left in them. The real heaviness of this moment, it comes from this mutual resignation. It's just two people looking at each other and silently admitting that the struggle is already over. And that shared acceptance is so much more heartbreaking than any screaming match could ever be.
All right, so how did they even get to this point? This next part, this is where we get to the absolute heart of it all, where the real reason for this ending finally gets a voice.
Wow, this is just such a beautifully painful way to describe falling out of love, isn't it? Peppi's confession isn't about something that happened or a mistake someone made. It's about listening for a feeling that used to be a constant and just finding silence. She's not pointing fingers at him, she's just describing this deep internal truth. She looked for that feeling everywhere, inside herself, in the world around her, even in the very sound of his name.
And Jarru's reaction here, it's so telling. That physical response, the tightened jaw, it shows you he feels the full impact of her words. But he stays quiet. That silence is a powerful show of respect, He's giving her the space to say this incredibly difficult final truth without cutting her off. And then, just 2 words. That's it. That's all it takes. After all that searching, this is the verdict. It's said so quietly, almost a whisper, but it lands with absolute finality. There's no room for argument, no ambiguity. The feeling is gone. Boom. The case is closed.
After a line like that, what else can you say? The silence that follows isn't awkward or empty. It's an agreement. It's the space where both of them finally accept the truth that Peppi just put on the table. The subtext here is absolutely deafening. It confirms everything they both already knew deep down.
Okay, so now we get to the central phrase of the entire scene. It's treated almost like a ritual, like a set of words that has to be spoken to make the ending official. So what exactly is NISSA-The?
Now, Jarru's request here is so crucial. He's not asking her to repeat herself just so he can hear it better. He's asking for, the official declaration. It's a call for a clean break, an unambiguous ending. He needs to hear those final words, not to pick a fight, but just to start accepting it. And there it is. Peppi says the words. The text says they don't echo, they settle. And just think about that for a second. An echo bounces around and fades away, but something that settles, it finds its final resting place. This is it. This is the emotional climax of the scene, the moment that held breath is finally, quietly let go.
So here's the thing. We don't really need a word-for-word translation of NISSA-The. Its power is in what it does. It's a ritual. It's a confirmation, a phrase that carries all the emotional weight of finality. It's the thing you say when everything else has already been felt and understood. It just settles things.
So, okay, the final words have been said. You'd think, right, this is where it all collapses into anger or grief or tears. But what happens next is what makes this ending so uniquely mature and so powerful.
And this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? Most stories would give us all the drama on the left, the shouting, the tears, the total breakdown. But this scene makes a deliberate choice to go down the path on the right. It trades all that melodrama for something way more profound, a quiet, somber clarity. This is an ending for grown-ups.
And this line right here, wow, this is the ultimate expression of that shared understanding. Jarru isn't just accepting what she's saying, he's confirming he was already living in the exact same reality. This line completely removes any sense of one person being the victim. It's like they didn't just stumble into this moment separately. No, they walked here together, even if they never said it out loud until now. You know, an ending isn't just about what's next. It's also about how you look back on what was. The final moments here are all about honoring their shared history with respect, even as they're closing the door on it for good.
This part is so important. Peppi makes it crystal clear that just because the feeling is gone now doesn't mean what they had was fake. It was real. That one statement validates everything they went through, giving their history dignity instead of just erasing it.
And then Jarru's response, it just completes the circle. It's a simple, perfect echo that confirms that mutual respect. They are both agreeing that their past was meaningful, and with that, they can give each other a healthy, incredibly painful but healthy sense of closure.
Okay, so remember how this whole scene started with the feeling of a held breath? Well, this is the exhale. The tension is finally gone. What's left isn't destruction or broken pieces, it's clarity. The space between them feels cleared of all that unspoken stuff, leaving behind this clean, quiet peace.
And this last moment, this is just for him. By repeating the words quietly to himself, Jarru is performing his own private, personal act of acceptance. He's not just hearing the ending anymore, he's internalizing it. He's letting it all sink in, for the first time without any resistance.
So let's wrap this up with one final thought. This scene leaves us with a really powerful idea. Maybe the goal of an ending isn't to shatter something, but to clear it out, to bring clarity, respect, and peace to a space that was full of tension. So what if the most meaningful endings? What if they aren't breaks at all, but clearances? What if the best goodbyes are less about the pain of breaking and more about the quiet relief of a final, mutual understanding?